Thank you so much to Phaedrus and MLAATR Fan 2004 for supporting me on Patreon. Your generosity and support really does go a very long way. If you like what I do and want to support me in a more personal way, then consider joining Patreon today. You will have special perks, including having your name at the beginning of each video. You will get special updates in regards to the Triton LEGO Railway in terms of personal updates, events, and anything else related to the railway before anybody else. Access to LEGO digital designer files of the very locomotives, rolling stock, and other structures I have made on my railway, and so much more. Link to the Patreon page is at the top of the description. Consider joining today. Hello and welcome to a work in progress video for the Super Train Station. Now this is going to be for the version 2.0 model, which is quite exciting. That means the entire station has been rebuilt. And this is more to match a few things. So first of all, I did a poll way back when in regards to the station. And in that poll, I asked if it would be better to keep the station as it is and just keep on building and improving on that to make it absolutely massive, which was my original intention. Or to take a probably more wiser approach and make it smaller so I can actually set it up as a part of a layout. So the popular vote was to make it smaller, make it part of a layout, and that is what I have decided to do. I don't think it's actually any smaller to how it was previously, but the way that this has been built, it is just so much better. So for this video, I'm going to be showing you pictures of the work in progress. I didn't really take any videos. I did take one video. It was a very quick one, and you will see that later in this episode. But in terms of, getting footage as I was building this was difficult. Photos just worked a lot better, and I'm still trying to take all of this in to make a better video for the future, in terms of quality. So what you see here is the beginning of the deconstruction of the station, and on the right hand side of this picture you will see a big old base plate. This is not LEGO branded. There is a retail chain here in the UK called Wilko. They make their own brand of LEGO style construction brick toys. They have made a train station and a small train set, which is products I have reviewed. They are LEGO compatible, and they do make their own base plates. So for me, I thought this was a great opportunity to get base plates which are very easy to get a hold of, cheap, and they restock every, I don't know, few days, week or so. So if I want to make more, I can always come back and get more, which, spoiler, I did. But the dimensions are quite weird. This is 28 studs by 56 studs, which is, yeah, it's quite odd. Now, again, I'm going for this for the reasons I just mentioned, but the LEGO 32 by 32 and 48 by 48 base plates are not easy for me to get at all, and they're bloody expensive. LEGO website or Bricklink doesn't matter. It's so pricey. I can't do that. So with awkward dimensions, it led to me having to, come up with a few creative ways in how I'm going to build this. This next picture, you can see that I've attempted some ballasting on a past version of the signal box. This was something that I talked about with some of the LNUR members. I said to them, well, I didn't really say to them, they said to me about ballasting track. And I kind of just saw the pictures that they put in the group chat, and I thought, you know what? That's not a bad idea. If I'm going to do a proper layout in the future, I need to actually look into doing some good track instead of it just being laid on the floor. So you will be seeing more of that later on. Oh, well, here it is now, I suppose. So, yeah, this is 7 tracks long. Remarkably, if you put 2 of these own brand base plates together, because it's 56 studs in length for one base plate, 2 together is 112. That is 7 track pieces long. And that was lucky for me, because it wasn't up until at the time of building this did I check the base plates to kind of match up with any sort of significant length with the LEGO tracks themselves. So I could do 3 on each side and figure out something for the middle track, which I will try and go into progress later on. I don't know if I've got any pictures for that here. I might have to save that for the actual review video, but don't worry, for what it is, it's actually quite genius. My dad liked it anyway. So yeah, there's that. And moving on to the actual platforms themselves, lots of dark grey bricks were used. Technically it's like dark bluish grey, but I'm not going to say bluish for the sakes of, just skipping a word and being a little bit quicker. So these are the steps I made for the ticket booth area. The ticket booth area in the past version of the station was kind of tucked into a corner, but I was able to make it a bit more bigger, a bit more lively. I wasn't able to really do that with this new version, and you'll see what I mean in just a moment. But this new sort of step idea where it kind of shrinks each time you go up a step looks more realistic, and is something I'm actually quite happy with. So we are on to the next picture. We have the inside of the platforms. That's what they actually look like. I have loads of 1x6 light grey bricks you can see in the top right corner. That's just a few of the bricks I had. I had an actual tower that was... It probably must have been 50 bricks tall. It sounds like I'm exaggerating, but I swear to God it was absolutely massive. I had hundreds of these to use. And in order to keep all the base plates up on the... Sorry, not the base plates, but the bigger plates for the people to stand on the platforms. Loads to use. And it just, just worked. There we go. Still not good at toolkit. I don't know if you can tell. So that's what a completed platform looks like. It's the same for both sides. There's nothing really special going on for the other side except for the kind of staircase on this end. Actually, I say that, but there was a modification for the final version, which you won't see in this video. But yeah, plenty of dark grey there on display. And here we go for the actual construction of the building itself. We are starting to get more architectural. I think I said this in one or two past videos in regards to the super train station, but this obviously doesn't look like any train station that would work today. A modern one, sure, for like an electric high-speed train. If you're going steam, like I am, you'll never see the two mix. This is more of an architectural project than it is a train station project, but at the same time, it's my railway, I'm going to do what I want, and I just really love this look. So here in this next picture, this is the track side of things, sort of the inside look of the first completed section of the station. I've got loads of 1x1 round bricks just to hand from the past version, of course. I had loads more available. So I was able to dot them around dot them across the length of the platform to act as sort of support pillars. And along the roof, I am using some red tiles as well. I had plenty of those left over and actually looped it around the edge of the roof in comparison to the last version where it's just one line somewhere. Here is a close-up of the ticket booth as well. Nothing too much going on in there. I do want to try and print out some posters and just some pictures just to liven it up a bit. But there is a railway map inside there to help passengers, know what train's coming from where. And of course, she's got a mug to kind of quench her thirst. Got a brick that says tickets there, which is from one of the knockoff sets. And a small computer setup, which I think would be like a default from a not a minifigure, like a city set. But yeah, good stuff. Pardon me. And that's what it looks like on the exterior. The first completed segment of this station. I think it looks absolutely wonderful. Again, this is more of an architectural project than it is anything else. It just looks really good. Those windows in particular, it still grabs my attention straight away. That grand archway. Well, not a grand archway, but it looks nicer just to have something sticking out as you're going in. It's not just a hole in the wall. But yeah, I think it's coming along quite nicely. Moving on to the... pardon me again. Oh, goodness. So, moving on again to the next section, we have the part that will go to the overpass. And you can see the banister there next to the staircase is the same design as I've used previously. This was a really cool design. Those arch pieces, I think, look really nice there. But it's a shame it doesn't quite line up with the staircase. You can see it pokes forward and it's still quite tall at the bottom of the stairs. Whereas to the top of it, it's nearly matching the height of the stairs itself. But don't worry, all of that was, of course, amended. And here are some more bricks added on. Loads more windows wrapping all the way around, except for the back wall. Now, what you probably can't see here, if I move on to the next picture, tucked away in that back corner is a sort of sofa, like a big chair. The intention there was to just turn that space into something. I wasn't too sure what I wanted to do. I wasn't too sure how to effectively use that space. I didn't want that space to become the ticket booth area, because having that underneath, just in that position where it's so tucked away even further, feels weird. I didn't like it. Annoyingly, I didn't think to put any minifigures in there when I had the roof off of the section, so that area is going to be a bit bland for a while. But going up a level before we get to the overpass, we can see more windows open, a nice open space for the staircase there. Now, this sort of section reminds me of a mall that is near me. It's not anything like the mall in real life. If I put this building, well, not put the building, but if I took a picture of this building and took a picture of the mall that's in my mind, they won't look anything alike at all. But this interior space is what reminds me of that big open space, tall roof. That's what I love about this, and that's why I think I did so well with this project. Again, more big windows. And here we have the other side with the overpass, basically mirrored. The only difference, I suppose, is just how it looks at the moment in terms of the work in progress. Some sections have windows built in, other sections are probably going to be using different length of bricks just because of what I had available. But pretty much it is identical. Now I'm going to play a clip of how the overpass sort of main hallway itself is connected. So as you just saw, the base of the overpass hallway, I don't know what you would call that, an overpass, a footbridge, overbridge, footpass thing, I don't know. Apparently there's a number of names for it, but if you have any particular name you want me to go by, then, let me know in the comments. But that piece I just showed you is not connected by any studs. It's completely free, it's completely loose. There is a special stud connection point I designed for the roof of that section, but when it comes to moving it around, having to store it after I'm done using it for a day, I could just pick it up and detach all the 4 segments. And that's probably the best thing I designed in regards to this station, at least structurally, because if I put this all together in one big go, it would be an absolute nightmare to pick up and move around. One thing I did for a past version, as well, I think all the past versions, was having that overbridge section be built in as one unit. Now that I can separate those parts and have that hallway separate, it's actually so much easier to move around and store and again get it out and whatever else. Genius, absolute genius. Why didn't I think about that earlier? So here we are with a longer stretch of the platform. This is both ends put together, obviously not finished. But when you look at all those windows along the side, it might not be the most appealing because it's in a darker shade of transparent. But it looks amazing. So much better to how I had it previously. I also got lucky here because I was adding in all of the windows for that first section that you saw with the ticket booth area. There was 6 window pieces across, so a total of 12 studs, then a 2-stud gap, which would be a pillar, and that kept on going up to the very end. And there was a 1 stud sort of point where that back wall would be, where the sofas were, and I just got away with it. It was absolute dumb luck, and I'm actually quite amazed that it happened. But that also means I can put more windows above and have it not look stupid. So that's what that hallway section looks like. It looks splendid. That bit on its own is so good. I actually really love that. That section there in this picture is what reminds me the most of the mall that lives near me. Again, structurally, architecturally, it looks nothing like the real thing. But the fact that it doesn't have those arch pieces sloping downwards, going down by a plate each time it moves forward by a stud. It's just one section of roof, you've got another section, and then you've got the main floor. It looks amazing. I'm so pleased with how this looks. And here is the nearly completed Super Train Station version 2.0. So this isn't what you're going to see in the review video. You are going to see minifigures dotted around with the other details I've put in place. Obviously, you'll see it completed. There's going to be a ramp added in on one of the sides. It's the mirroring side to where the ticket booth is. Obviously, for crew members to be able to get down to the track safely, there needs to be a ramp. I'm just going to do a bunch of plates to kind of make a sort of staircase looking ramp. I can only do one because obviously where the other one would go would be where the ticket booth itself is. Can't really move that around because if I put it in the middle of the platform, it's going to look stupid. If I tuck it in one of the corners, it will just be a mess. So yeah, only one ramp for this station, but at the same time, it doesn't need to be more than, well, I suppose it kind of does, but you know what, it's my project, so I can get away with it. It's a completely custom design, and again, it's more of an architectural project more than anything else. But yeah, this was a really nice project. Just putting this together, kind of just building the station all over again, was a very fun experience. I knew what it looked like the first time round, so I kind of had a basis and some ideas for how I wanted it to look this time round. And there is going to be so much more coming along after this for the Triton Lego Railway. So, thank you all ever so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Stick around for the official review video for this station, and way more for the Triton Lego Railway itself. A layout is on the way. Stick around, I'll see you then. Bye.